You think your enemy is outside. It's not. It's not your boss. It's not your situation. It's not even your past. Your real enemy is right there between your ears. It's those silent, subtle, sneaky habits that are stealing your time, your confidence, your potential. Every single day you wake up on a battlefield. And if you're not fighting, you're already losing. There are 7 habits, 7 invisible chains you must battle every single day, or they will bury your dreams while you're still alive. The first is procrastination. That moment you say, I'll do it later, is the moment your future gets postponed. Again, you think you're buying time, but you're selling your destiny. The second is negative self-talk, that quiet voice that whispers, you're not good enough, you'll fail, who do you think you are? That voice is not truth. It's poison. You don't need haters when your own mind is tearing you apart. The third is comfort seeking. Your comfort zone is a coffin. Every great thing in life lives on the other side of discomfort, but most people don't grow because they won't go through the pain. You've got to be willing to be uncomfortable if you want to rise. Then comes comparison. Social media has made it so easy to compare your real life to someone else's highlight reel. And every time you do that, you're draining your power. Stop looking sideways, your lane, your race, your pace. Excuse making is number 5. Excuses are just stories we tell ourselves to stay small. Every excuse you make is a wall you build between you and greatness. Stop justifying, start executing. Number 6 is lack of discipline. Look, motivation is great, but it's not reliable. Discipline is the king. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Without it, you're a slave to your moods, your habits, your weakness. And the 7th habit, maybe the deadliest of them all, fear of failure. Not afraid of failing, you're afraid of people seeing you fail. That fear is your cage. And unless you break it, you'll stay trapped in a life far smaller than the one you're capable of living. This is not just another motivational speech. This is a call to war. These habits don't take a day off, and neither can you. Fight them every single day or get used to living a life that never reaches its full potential. You've got greatness inside you, but only if you're willing to go to war for it. You keep telling yourself you've got time, that you'll do it tomorrow, that one more scroll won't hurt, that one more hour of rest is deserved, that the deadline isn't that close. But let me tell you something straight. Procrastination is not a harmless habit. It's a thief, a silent, smiling thief that robs you of your potential while convincing you that everything's okay. It whispers comfort in your ear while it digs the grave of your dreams. Every time you delay the work, every time you hit snooze, every time you say, I'll start on Monday, you are making a micro decision to not live at your highest level. And the danger isn't that you're lazy. The danger is that you've made it normal. You've normalized delay. You've normalized putting off your purpose for another day. But guess what? That other day isn't guaranteed. Life doesn't owe you more time. You don't know how many Mondays you've got left. And even if you did, what kind of life are you building by constantly delaying your breakthrough? Procrastination is the killer of momentum. It's the dream assassin that doesn't need to fight hard. It just waits for you to relax. Because the truth is, success doesn't require genius. It doesn't demand perfection. It demands urgency. It demands consistency. It demands that you show up when you don't feel like it, that you work when you're tired, that you move even when there's no applause. And procrastination is the voice in your head telling you the exact opposite. Take it easy, it says. You've got time, it whispers. But later never comes. Only now is real. And let's be honest, procrastination isn't about time management. It's about fear. Fear of starting. Fear of failing. A fear of not being good enough. You delay not because you don't care, but because deep down you care too much and you're afraid you won't measure up. So you choose to avoid, you distract yourself with the small stuff to avoid the big work that truly matters. You pretend to be busy when really you're just hiding, but let me tell you this, every minute you spend avoiding the thing that matters, you're feeding the fear. You're reinforcing the belief that you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. And that's a lie. You are ready, you are capable. But you've got to break the habit of waiting. You've got to wake up every day and decide that today matters. That this hour, this minute, this task is the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. You want transformation? You want success? Then stop flirting with your dreams and start showing up like they're already yours. Because until you treat your goals like they're urgent, they'll stay out of reach. You've got to get to a point where procrastination becomes painful, where delaying your vision feels like betrayal, where wasting a day hurts more than working through discomfort. You've got to rewire your brain to see action as your default setting, not waiting, not hesitating, not analyzing until you're paralyzed. Just doing, moving, executing. You don't need more planning, you need more doing. You don't need more motivation, you need more discipline. You don't need a sign. This is your sign. Look around at the people who are winning. They're not the smartest, the strongest, or the luckiest. They're the ones who got sick of waiting, sick of standing in their own way, sick of wasting potential. They decide they'd rather make mistakes while moving than stay perfect while stuck. That's how you beat procrastination. Not by eliminating it entirely, but by choosing action anyway. By recognizing the moment your brain tries to delay and doing it anyway. By showing that your vision matters more than your comfort. Because the truth is, your future is not built in some distant someday, it's built in this very moment, right now. With the decision you make next, are you going to sit back and wait for the right time, or are you going to rise up, punch procrastination in the mouth, and declare that your time is now? Because that's what greatness demands, not perfection, not permission, just action, raw, bold, relentless action, even if it's messy, even if it's scary, especially when it's hard. Stop lying to yourself, stop selling yourself short. You weren't born to hesitate, you weren't born to delay, you were born to execute, born to build, born to dominate. And every day you let procrastination win, you're losing more than time. You're losing yourself. Don't let that happen. Not today, not anymore. It's time to fight back, one decision at a time, one step at a time, and it starts now. There's a voice inside your head, and it talks more than anyone else in your life. It's with you when you wake up, it walks with you through the day, and it whispers to you when you lie in bed. The question is that voice building you or is it breaking you? Because for most people, that voice isn't a coach, it's a critic. It's not lifting them up, it's keeping them down. And here's the scary part. They've been hearing that voice for so long, they started believing it. You're not good enough. You'll always mess it up. You'll never change. Who do you think you are? That's not truth. That's not reality. That's a loop, a broken record created by past pain, rejection, fear, and failure. And the more you listen, the deeper it wires into your identity. Negative self-talk is mental poison. You don't need enemies when your own mind is attacking you 24/7. You could be in the room with 10 people cheering you on, and one small voice in your head can still make you feel like you don't belong. You could have talent, ambition, and fire. But if the voice in your head says you're not enough, you'll sabotage your own greatness. That voice isn't just annoying, it's dangerous. It can stop you from starting, it can stop you from finishing, and worst of all, it can stop you from even trying. Think about this. When a friend makes a mistake, you tell them it's okay, you'll bounce back, you've got this. But when you mess up, what do you say? I'm such an idiot. Why do I always do this? I knew I'd fail. You talk to yourself in ways you'd never talk to someone you love. And that's the problem. If you wouldn't say it to someone you care about, why say it to yourself? Because the truth is, the most important relationship you'll ever have isn't with your parents, your partner, or your friends. It's with you. And if that relationship is toxic, no amount of success will feel like enough. You'll always feel like you're faking it, like you don't deserve it, like it's just a matter of time before it all crumbles. But here's the shift. Your mind is programmable. That voice, no matter how loud it's been, no matter how long it's ruled your life, can be retrained. You can change the dialogue. You can rewrite the script. You can catch yourself in the act and say, no, I'm done being my own enemy. I'm done tearing myself apart. I am not my failures. I am not my flaws. I am not my fear. You start by becoming aware. You don't fight the voice with more noise. You fight it with truth. You fight it with evidence. You remind yourself of what you've survived, of what you've built, of how many times you could have quit but didn't. You silence the lies by speaking louder with facts. And let me tell you this. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's not about never doubting yourself. Confidence is built every time you disobey that negative voice. Every time you say, I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway. Every time you show up when that voice told you to hide. Every time you fall and rise again. That's how you shift the identity. That's how you take your power back. You don't have to be your worst critic. You can become your strongest ally. You can be the voice in your own head that says, let's go. That says, you've got this. But it won't happen by accident. It won't happen by hoping. It happens through repetition, through intention, through daily mental reps. Just like you train your body, you got to train your mind. Read powerful words. Speak life into yourself. Surround yourself with energy that fuels you. Stop letting the weakest parts of your past define the strongest parts of your future. And remember this, the most successful people in the world, they've heard the same voices you do. They've battled the same doubts, the same fears. The difference is they stopped listening. They chose to lead themselves instead. They chose new beliefs, and so can you. So the next time that voice shows up, and it will, don't let it win. Don't argue with it. Replace it. Rewrite it. Reclaim your mind. Because if you win the war in your head, nothing outside you can stop you. Not failure, not rejection, not criticism, nothing. When you become your own biggest believer, the world has no choice but to follow your lead. Comfort feels good. It's where you find temporary relief, temporary peace. It's that place where you don't have to push yourself, where you can just sit back and breathe easy. But let me tell you something right now. Comfort is a trap. It's the invisible cage that keeps your true potential locked up. It's the silent killer of growth. The moment you decide that comfort is more important than progress, you've already made the decision to settle for a life that's far beneath what you're capable of. Comfort is not your friend, it's the enemy disguised as relaxation, disguised as self-care, disguised as taking it easy. But let me ask you this, how many people do you know who reach greatness by taking it easy? How many legends, how many titans, how many icons do you know who achieved extraordinary success by staying comfortable? The answer is none. Every successful person you admire, they've been through hell. They've been through hardship. They've pushed themselves far beyond their comfort zone. They've made discomfort their best friend, their greatest ally. You see, growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you're stretched beyond your limits, when you're forced to evolve, when you have no choice but to rise. When you seek comfort, you're making the decision to stop growing. You're choosing stagnation over expansion. You're choosing mediocrity over excellence. And here's the harsh truth. If you stay in your comfort zone long enough, you'll start to die inside. You'll lose your hunger. You'll lose your fire. You'll lose your ambition. Because the moment you settle for good enough, you've just created a gap between where you are and where you could be. And that gap is your enemy. That gap is your killer. The longer you sit in comfort, the further you drift from your destiny. Look at every great person who's ever lived. They all have one thing in comfort. They chose challenge over complacency. Struggle over ease, uncertainty over safety. You think they weren't scared? You think they didn't want to stay cozy, to relax, to avoid the hard stuff? Of course they did. But they knew that the moment they chose comfort, they would lose everything they were meant to become. So they pushed and they fought and they grew. They made discomfort their daily companion. And because of that, they created extraordinary lives. Lives that inspire others to get out of their own comfort zones. The truth is, your comfort zone is a prison. It's a prison that keeps you small, it keeps you safe, but it also keeps you stagnant. It convinces you that just getting by is enough. But deep down, you know it's not. You know there's more in you. You know you have greatness inside of you, but that greatness will never come out if you stay comfortable. Comfort doesn't help you become who you were meant to be. It helps you remain exactly where you are. And if you're okay with that, then by all means, keep seeking comfort. But if you're ready to take your life to the next level, if you're ready to play a bigger game, then it's time to step into discomfort. It's time to get uncomfortable. The first step to greatness is the willingness to be uncomfortable. You've got to push yourself every day to do the things that scare you, that challenge you, that stretch you beyond your limits. Every time you say yes to discomfort, you're saying no to average. Every time you choose to do the hard thing, the painful thing, the scary thing, you're evolving into the person you need to become to achieve your dreams. Success is not about playing it safe. It's about risking, failing, falling, getting back up, and pushing yourself further than you've ever gone before. Every time you're tempted to stay in your comfort zone, ask yourself this: do I want to be a victim of my own fears, or do I want to be the hero of my own story? Because comfort won't make you a hero. Comfort won't help you leave a legacy. Comfort won't help you make the impact you were born to make. But discomfort will push you. Discomfort will make you stronger. Discomfort will force you to become unstoppable. So the next time you feel the pull of comfort, the urge to stop, the temptation to ease up, remember this: comfort is your enemy, and the discomfort you feel is the fire forging your future. Embrace it, pursue it, because the only thing standing between you and your dreams is your willingness to be uncomfortable. Your growth is on the other side of your fear, and your destiny is on the other side of that discomfort. If you want to make something great of your life, you have to choose the hard path. You have to choose the path of growth. You have to choose discomfort. Because at the end of the day, it's not comfort that will give you the life you want. It's courage. It's discipline. It's the willingness to step into the unknown, to take risks, and to push beyond the limits you've set for yourself. The life you want is out there, waiting for you. But it's not going to find you in the comfort zone. You've got to go after it, and that means you've got to get uncomfortable. Stop comparing yourself to others. It's the greatest thief of your potential. Let me tell you something straight. When you compare, you lose. You lose your peace, you lose your focus, and most importantly, you lose yourself. Because the moment you start measuring your success against someone else's, you've already bought into a lie. You're not them. You're not living their life, fighting their battles, or walking their path. And yet so many people get caught in this trap, thinking they have to be exactly like someone else to succeed. Well, I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You weren't born to be a copy of someone else. You were born to be the best version of you. The problem with comparison is that it robs you of your authenticity. It forces you to focus on everyone else, on their achievements, on their success, on their progress, instead of focusing on your own. You start looking at their highlight reel and think you're falling behind. You think you're not enough. You think you're missing something. But let me ask you this. How many times have you looked at someone's life from the outside and assumed that everything was perfect for them? How many times have you envied someone's success without knowing the battles they've fought to get there? How many times have you felt that sting of inadequacy because you thought someone else had it better? Let me tell you this, no one is perfect. No one. Even the people you admire, the people who seem to have it all, they've had their struggles, their failures, their doubts. They've fought their own battles and they've been where you are right now. But here's the difference. They didn't let comparison hold them back. They didn't look at other people's journeys and think, I'll never be like that. No, they said, I'm going to walk my own path. I'm going to create my own story. When you compare yourself to someone else, you're robbing yourself of your own greatness. You're forgetting the truth that your journey is unique. Your timing is unique. Your challenges, your victories, they're all part of a story that is entirely yours. And when you focus on what someone else is doing, you stop being present in your own life. You stop seeing the incredible progress you've already made. You stop recognizing your own victories, no matter how small they seem. Comparison steals your joy. It keeps you in a state of dissatisfaction because the moment you start measuring yourself against someone else, you're never going to feel good enough. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is you. Look at where you were yesterday. Look at what you've already overcome. Look at how far you've come. Progress isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Success isn't about having more than the person next to you. It's about being more than you were yesterday. And the moment you realize that, the moment you stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20, you're going to unlock a power inside of you that you never knew existed. So stop wasting your time measuring your success by someone else's standards. The truth is, there's always going to be someone who's ahead of you. There's always going to be someone who's doing something you wish you could do. There's always going to be someone who seems like they have it all together. But here's the secret, those people aren't you. They have their own journey, their own struggles, their own path. You can admire them, but you don't have to be them. You don't need their life to create your own greatness. You don't need their blueprint to write your own. Every second you spend looking at someone else's life, you're wasting time you could be using to improve your own. Every moment you spend feeling envious, you're denying yourself the opportunity to grow. So stop comparing and start creating. Stop looking at what everyone else is doing and start focusing on what you're doing. Stop measuring your success by someone else's standards and start defining success on your own terms. If you really want to win in life, stop competing with the people around you. Start competing with yourself. Ask yourself, am I better today than I was yesterday? Am I closer to my goals than I was last week? Am I more committed to my vision today than I was last month? That's how you win. That's how you grow, not by trying to beat someone else at their game, but by becoming the best player in your own. You are not in a race with anyone but yourself. There's no finish line but the one you set for yourself. You don't have to be anyone else. You don't have to live someone else's dream. You don't have to follow someone else's path. You've got your own. And when you fully embrace that truth, when you stop comparing yourself to others and start investing in your own growth, that's when you'll step into your power. That's when you'll find the freedom to truly be yourself. And that, my friend, is when you will shine. Fear of failure. Everyone's been there. It's that gut-wrenching feeling that holds you back, keeps you stuck, makes you question your every move. It whispers, what if you fail? What if it doesn't work out? What if you look stupid? What if people laugh at you? Let me tell you something. Failure is not your enemy. Fear of failure is your enemy, because that thing that stops you from taking the leap. It's the thing that keeps you from moving forward. It's the thing that tells you to play it safe, to stay small, to avoid risk. But I'm here to tell you, failure is your greatest teacher. It's not something to fear, it's something to embrace, because every failure you encounter is one step closer to your ultimate success. The reason people are so afraid of failure is because they've been taught to see it as the end. We've been conditioned to think that failure is a dead end, that it's something that defines us, that it means we're not good enough. But that's a lie. Failure doesn't define you, it refines you. It doesn't mean you're broken, it means you're learning. Every time you fail, you gain wisdom, you gain experience, you gain strength. It's the only way to grow. It's the only way to discover your true power. Every successful person you look up to, every icon, every legend, every billionaire, they've failed. They've failed big. They failed publicly. And guess what? They didn't let it stop them. They didn't let it define them. They used it to fuel their fire unless you stop. It's not failing that will keep you from your dreams. It's quitting that will. Every time you try and fall short, you learn. You adapt, you rise. But the only way to guarantee failure is to never try. So you have to ask yourself, would you rather risk failing, or would you rather risk never going after what you truly want in this life? The fear of failure is often rooted in the fear of what others will think. What if people judge me? What if they think I'm not good enough? But here's the hard truth. The world isn't paying as much attention to you as you think. People are too busy with their own lives to criticize yours. And even if they do, so what? Their opinion doesn't matter. What matters is that you showed up. What matters is that you tried. What matters is that you took action despite the fear, despite the doubts. And that, my friend, is how you conquer the fear of failure. By understanding that other people's opinions don't define your worth, their judgments don't stop your journey. The only thing that stops you is you. Fear of failure also comes from the illusion of control. We think that if we do everything right, if we follow the perfect plan, if we execute everything according to the book, we won't fail. But let me tell you, there is no such thing as perfect. There is no such thing as a foolproof plan. There is only taking action and adapting along the way. And guess what? You don't have to have it all figured out right now. You don't have to know exactly how it's all going to unfold. What you have to do is move. Move with purpose, move with intention, and move knowing that failure is just part of the process. You're not meant to have everything figured out from day one. You're meant to figure it out along the way. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. The perfect time is now. Here's the thing about failure. It's inevitable. If you want to do something great, something meaningful, something that scares you, you will fail. You will fall down. You will face setbacks. But here's the game changer. That's not a sign to stop. It's a sign to keep going. Because failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It doesn't mean you can't make it. It just means you're one step closer to the success that's waiting for you. Every time you fall, you're learning what doesn't work. And that's progress. That's momentum. That's growth. Because the people who win in life aren't the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who keep going when everyone else would quit. They're the ones who turn their failures into fuel. So let me ask you this. Are you willing to fail? Are you willing to face the fear, step into the unknown and try even when you're not sure it will work out? Because the only way to guarantee that you'll never fail is to never try. And if you're not trying, you're not living. You're not pushing yourself. You're not growing. And that, my friend, is a life that's wasted. You were not born to play it safe. You were born to take risks. You were born to fail, and you were born to rise again. The only true failure in life is not trying. It's not going after what you want because you're afraid of what might happen. And let me tell you, if you can get over the fear of failure, if you can push through the doubts, if you can stand tall after every setback, that's when you'll experience real freedom. That's when you'll step into your true power. So the next time fear whispers in your ear telling you to play it safe, remember this. The only thing you have to fear is not trying. Negative self-talk. We all do it. We all have that voice inside our heads that tells us we're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy of success. That voice that whispers, you'll never make it. You're not cut out for this. Who do you think you are to try? And let me tell you, that voice is a liar. That voice is the biggest obstacle you'll ever face. Not the economy, not other people, not even the external circumstances you're in. No, the biggest obstacle is the voice inside your head telling you that you can't. Here's the truth. What you say to yourself is more powerful than anything anyone else could ever say to you. Your words are spells. They're shaping your reality. Your self-talk is creating your world, your life, your future. So when you tell yourself you're not good enough, guess what? You're programming yourself to fail. When you tell yourself you're not worthy, you're blocking your own blessings. When you tell yourself you can't, you're making sure that you won't. The language you speak to yourself matters. Think about it. How many times have you caught yourself saying, I can't do this. I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough. You've probably said those things more times than you realize, but guess what? Those words are not the truth. They're just thoughts. And here's the powerful part. You have control over your thoughts. You don't have to believe everything that crosses your mind. You don't have to accept the negativity. You can challenge it. You can change it. You can replace it with something more powerful. The moment you change the way you talk to yourself, your entire reality changes. You're not defined by the negative thoughts that pop into your head. You're defined by how you respond to them. The first step to overcoming negative self-talk is awareness. You have to start noticing when you're being negative with yourself. You have to catch those thoughts before they start spiraling. Because here's the deal. Those thoughts are like a virus. They spread, they multiply, and before you know it, they take over your entire mindset. But the moment you catch yourself thinking something negative, you can stop it in its tracks. You can say, no, that's not true. I am enough. I am capable. I am worthy. You can interrupt those thoughts with something empowering. And when you start doing that consistently, you'll begin to reprogram your mind for success. Negative self-talk doesn't just hold you back, it hurts you. It damages your self-esteem, your confidence, your ability to take action. The more you tell yourself you can't do something, the more you believe it, and the more you believe it, the less likely you are to take the action required to make it happen. But here's the beautiful thing. You can flip that script. You can change the narrative. You can stop waiting for permission from the world to believe in yourself. It all starts with the way you talk to you. Instead of saying, I can't do this, try saying, I'm learning how to do this. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say, I'm growing, I'm improving, and every day I get closer to where I want to be. Instead of saying, this is impossible, say, this is challenging, but I'm up for it. You see, language matters. It's the difference between staying stuck in fear and moving forward with confidence. It's the difference between playing small and playing big. But here's the kicker. Negative self-talk doesn't just come from you. It comes from the conditioning we've received throughout our lives. Society, family, friends, teachers, media. We've all been fed the message that we're not enough, that we need to be more, do more, achieve more, and if we don't meet those standards, we're somehow falling short. But I'm here to tell you that those standards are arbitrary. They're not your truth. Your truth is that you are enough right here, right now. You have everything inside of you to create the life you desire. The only thing standing in your way is the voice inside your head telling you otherwise. So here's what I want you to do. Start flipping the script. Every time that voice of negativity shows up, fight back with affirmations of power, confidence, and belief in yourself. Start speaking to yourself like you would speak to your best friend with kindness, encouragement, and love. You wouldn't tell your best friend that they're not good enough. So why would you say that to yourself? You're worthy, you're capable, you're unstoppable. And every time you affirm that, you reinforce that truth within yourself. You build a foundation of confidence that can't be shaken. And let me tell you this. The moment you stop believing the negative self-talk, the moment you start trusting in your power,